Hi everyone, I'm Amisha, or you could call me Mimi, and welcome to my video series of doing conventions on a budget. I know we're all still dealing with this everything, but pretty soon we're all going to be wanting to go back to the social haven that is conventions. And a lot of people want to do this without hurting their wallet. So I've decided to create this video series based off of what is almost 2 decades of doing conventions, of tips and tricks I've either picked up or learned from others about doing these things with minimal damage to your wallet. And the first episode we're going to do is hotels, because hotels are usually the most expensive single budget item of a convention. And if you're living more than 30 minutes away from the convention, you're probably going to want somewhere to rest your head for the night. So the first thing you're going to want to do is determine what hotels are around where the convention center's at and how far you're willing to travel on a several daily basis for this convention, especially if you're one of those cosplayers who will have a morning, afternoon, and evening, and seriously, I don't know how people have so many cosplays. But if you're one of those people, you are not going to want to spend 3+ hours going back to your hotel room, changing, and then heading back. And sometimes it's not worth saving $20 if the convention center is a little too far from where you're staying. And there was one point where I was trying to save a bit of money going to an anime convention, and I ended up with water in my knees because of how much walking I had to do to head back to my hotel. So I would just Google Maps the convention location and see what hotels are within walking distance of that center. Once you've determined your radius, you'll want to use sites like Trivago, Expedia, Kayak, and even the convention's own website to determine what's going to be the best deal for that hotel space. Of course, this is assuming that you're the one booking the hotel space in the first place. I have never done it myself, but I have heard from other people that they will just show up at conventions, walk around, and within a matter of minutes, find somebody who will be willing to exchange hotel space for money as soon as they arrived. So one of the first things you're going to want to do is figure out how much money you want to spend on a hotel room. Now, the best time to figure out a budget is around 6 to 9 months ahead of time. But of course, if you gave yourself shorter than that amount of time, you'll just need to make some adjustments in how much you're going to need to save per week. And I will be doing a video on incremental saving for conventions later in this video series. Because it sounds a lot less daunting to pay $20 a week as opposed to paying $200 right here, right now. Another thing you're going to want to determine is how long you're going to stay at the hotel room. You could say strictly during the convention's runtime, or you could choose to stay the day before and have extra time to pick up your badge, get settled, get relaxed, set up your makeup, your cosplay things, your food prep, whatever you need for that hotel to be completely worth it. On the flip side, you might also decide to stay a day later. This is so they don't have to rush out of their hotel room at 10 a.m. Sunday morning after they probably spent all night raving. These are things to keep in mind in your budget. Sometimes it's worth spending the extra $35 or however much your portion is to step back, relax, and maybe even prep some things that might save you more than that $35. And of course, one of the big things with convention hotel stays that you should never let the hotel staff know you're doing is what's referred to as dogpiling, in which you are sharing the room with more than 4 people. I think around 6 or 7 is usually the number people go with. Yes, because it's much easier to divide a $500 expense between 6 people as opposed to 4. And that is something you're going to want to consider as well in your budget. Some people don't like the fact that they have to move around on people's bodies, stuff, and schedule. but sometimes that's the best way you can save money. Some ways you can find some potential dogpile roommates are the convention's message boards, the convention Facebook group, Discord groups, and your own friends circle. You might be surprised. So I'm going to throw out some hypothetical numbers about how I'm talking about this abstract concept of affording a hotel room. Let's say you decide that you are going to spend 3 nights, Thursday through Sunday, in a hotel room, and you're going to be sharing it with 5 people. The total that the hotel room is going to cost is somewhere around $350. That means for each person, they're going to have to put in $70, some of which you might need before the hotel check-in, and you are going to need to make sure everybody's on the same page about that. But, so you determine your share is $70. In a 6-month period, that is almost 25 weeks of saving. So let's give us a better number. Let's say 75, because you always want to overestimate as opposed to underestimate your saving needs. That means that you just need to save $3 a week before the due date of your payment in order to afford that hotel stay. And that sounds pretty doable, doesn't it? And I'm going to have lots more videos on saving in your money, on not buying as much, on cheap little tricks on finding the best deals. So I hope you will continue to join me as I produce these videos. And if you know what you would like me to cover next, leave it down in the comments below. As always, like, share, and subscribe if you really liked my video. And I'll see you guys next time.